Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to tell you what is this distillation process and why should we do it. And in the later half we will also see how we can execute this entire process and make our GPT-3.5 Turbo intelligent as GPT-4. So if you will ask me what is distillation process, it is basically a way or mechanism in which we will try to educate the weaker model so that it can perform like the stronger model. So in this case, I'm taking an example of GPT-3.5 Turbo, and then we will try to make it as intelligent as GPT-4. So that's the agenda for today's video, and let's quickly have a look at few more steps. And now you may ask, why should we go for distillation? So there are various reasons why we should go. The very first one is the reduced cost. So if you are training the smaller model and making it capable as the larger one or the strong models, then in that case, of course, we are saving a cost because it's just a matter of one time training the small model and making it intelligent. And the second thing is the better response time. So we know that nowadays there are very good models, there are best models in fact, but the response time they are taking or the response time they're having is much more than the earlier models. So it means that if we are going with the smaller model, which is more smarter or the equally smarter one, then we can get the better response time rather than using the latest and the stronger models. And the third one is the less computational resources. So as we are going with the smaller model, of course, we will have a less resource requirement. We need less computation power, and all these things will be sorted out. So these are the major advantages we may get if we are going with the distillation process. Then the last thing is how to do this. So whenever we are talking about distillation, there are two key terms which you need to think about. So let's consider a student and a teacher. Now we want to make a student as intelligent as the teacher. So this is the analogy which we are going to use, and this is the high level diagram or the steps which we are going to perform. So have a look at the screen, and here you will see that first of all we are deciding which one is our student model and which will be our teacher model. And once we have these models decided, then we will go ahead and prepare the data set. So for this particular demo, I'm taking the bare minimum, like 10 questions are the minimum which we need to take. So I'm just taking the sample which is having 10 question and answer. And then I'm using those 10 question and answer to educate my student model. So let's have a quick look at how we can do this. It looks very, I would say, difficult, but when you will do it, it's very straightforward. So what I'm doing here, I have already stored my OpenAI key, and now I'm importing the OpenAI package here and creating the client. So this first step is done. The second thing is, this is my function which is get response, and what it does is it takes model name as a parameter and the question, which is nothing but the user query. So with these two parameters, it will go ahead and pass in that information to the chat completion endpoint. So this is how we used to construct our messages, wherein we need to supply the roles. The very first one is the system role, and the system role will tell the system or the completion endpoint or the model that what it is all about. So we are saying that you are a sports and a fitness expert, which provides very concise answers. So this is our system prompt, and user prompt is nothing but the query which is asked by the user or the question. And then I'm setting these 3 parameters. Definitely you can set more, like penalty and all those. That's not a problem, but I'm just going with the bare minimum. So again, I'm reiterating, this is the function which is going to take model and the question and will just spit out the response. So let's execute this as well. Then what I'm doing is I am trying this particular question: what is the role of a coach in team success? And this I'm executing using GPT-3.5 Turbo. So like I said, I'm going to transition between 3.5 Turbo and 4. So I don't want to use 4 for my routine stuff. So I thought let's train it with let's train the 3.5 Turbo. So if I'm going to execute this, and here you can say the response is just this much, and it is saying a coach plays a crucial role in guiding, motivating, and strategizing for the team's success. Now, if I will ask the same question to GPT-4, then you can see the response would be little more elaborative. You will get little more information, And here you can see this is what GPT-4. So we can say that, yeah, of course, the GPT-4 is much better in responding to user queries as compared to 3.5 Turbo. Okay, now how can we make our GPT 3.5 Turbo as intelligent as GPT-4, specifically in this particular scenario where we are talking about the coach, fitness, and all these things? So for that, what we can do, we need to come up with a data set. So this is the data set which I have created. In fact, I have generated this using Copilot, so you can generate it for yourself just in order to test it. So these are the 10 questions which are related to each other, which are related to sports and fitness. Somewhere we are talking about the economic impact on the sporting events. Then we are talking about the technology and coach and how the professional life of the sportsman. These are the things I'm asking in these 10 questions. So make sure that you are taking at least 10 questions. So let's shrink it. And next thing what I'm doing here is, now I need to make a call to my endpoint. So all those things we have done. Now what we need to do is, we need to take these questions and generate the question answer pair, because for our 3.5 Turbo to be trained, we want the question and answer pair to be constructed, which you must have seen earlier that we were doing using the JSON-L file. So it's kind of a similar thing, but we are doing it a little bit different way. So we are not going to construct JSON-L file here. So let's take a look at this method. I have just refined it a little bit. I have added this one particular parameter, which is store. Rest all is still the same. So this is the one parameter store, and this store parameter is set to true whenever we want our generated output to be saved on the OpenAI servers. So if you are setting it to true, it will go ahead and do it. And the next thing which I have done here is the tag. So whenever you are generating data sets or whenever you are uploading data set, you want to tag it to some specific unique string so that you can filter those whenever you want. And that is the string for me. So Teams dataset is my tag. And here I'm setting the store, whatever I'm getting from the caller. And then I'm just printing the response. I will show you in a while, but let's just take a look at it. And this is generate data. So what it will do is, it will take the model name, it will take the how many questions you want out of those 10, and just generate the response. So let me go ahead and execute this as well. Okay, so next thing here is, now I'm going to make a call to GPT-4 because I want to generate the data or the question answer pair from the GPT-4, because the output of the GPT-4 is going to be the input for my GPT-3.5. So this is, again, like I said, it's a one-time process, and it will take all the 10 questions one by one and come up with the answer. So response from GPT-4 for this. So this is the answer. Similarly, for this particular question, we have this as the answer. And similarly, we'll have for all the 10 questions. Let it execute. It's going to take few seconds. It's still going on. Here you can see that now we have the responses of all the 10 questions. You can just have a look in this text editor. And these are our 10 questions. And each and every question answer pair is saved on OpenAI servers. So let me quickly show you that. So, okay. And before that, I can quickly point you to the model. So these are the available models with OpenAI right now. And what I'm doing is, I'm trying to take 3.5 Turbo and make it intelligent as 4, because here you can see the price difference. Here it is $30 for 1 million input tokens, whereas if you are looking at 3.5 Turbo, whatever the version you are taking, it is like very, very less than GPT-4. So that's the reason I thought to train it with 3.5 Turbo. Now this is the OpenAI platform here, and make sure that you are using the same project from which you have taken the OpenAI key, otherwise things are not going to work. So once you are on the platform, go to your chat completions, and here under the metadata, either you can filter it, or so if you will click on the metadata, you will see that the dataset which you have just generated and saved is already available on this particular portal. So let me quickly click on this one. So how was the technology influenced excuse me, modern sports? And this is the tag you can see. So that is one way to identify, because there could be lot many question answers, there could be lot many data, but this is the one thing which can tell you that okay, this is the data set which I uploaded just now. Now on the right hand side you can see distill. Click on that button and it will open up a fine-tuned dialog for you, and here you need to select the base model which you want to basically train it or make it intelligent, which is your student model. So here I am selecting this one, and it will automatically pick up those files which we have just uploaded. And here you can see there is an option to upload the validation data. So I have not prepared it, so I'm not going to do it, but whenever you are doing this for production, it is always recommended to go for the validation data as well. You can provide some suffix here and provide some seed and click on this create button. If you want, you can optimize these parameters as well. So I'm not going to fine tune it because it is a time consuming model and I have already fine tuned one model. So I will go ahead with the one which I fine tuned some time back, and this is the name of my model. Now if I will take this name and will try to query here. So this is my model name and I'm asking the same question. What is the role of a model? What is the role of a coach in team success? And if I will execute it, I should get those multi-line answers which we have seen earlier. So let's give it few seconds and we should have our answers ready. And here you go. So you can see that now, although we are working with GPT-3.5 Turbo, but still we are having the answer which we received from GPT-4 some time back, which is this one. So now you can compare easily how the model was behaving earlier and how the model is behaving now. So that's the magic of using this distillation feature. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and do let me know what are your use cases for this particular feature. Thanks for watching.